And joining us right now to discuss proposed legislation is Congressman John Fleming from the great state of Louisiana, a member of the House Armed Services Committee and Natural Resources Committee. And Congressman, welcome, sir.
Thanks, Steve. Great to be on with you today.
Well, appreciate that. Okay, you are responding to what we've learned over the past week or so by proposing a suspension for a while, anyway, of the IRS's right to audit people. Is that correct?
That's right. Our bill halt the IRS. It's very simple. It requires that the IRS suspend all audits for a period of 180 days. We know that during the process of attacking conservative groups, Tea Party groups, individuals like Mr. Vandersloot, we really feel like we don't know how many people out there are being hurt by the IRS. You know, there's nothing worse than the IRS, except for maybe the FBI coming and putting in handcuffs, and so the severity of damage, the weight of the Internal Revenue Service that has unlimited funds to make life hell for you, I think should come to an immediate stop for all of those who are being audited until we get this sorted out in Washington.
I am 100% with you, especially in light of the fact that we had the senior White House advisor Dan Pfeiffer on the Sunday shows yesterday, all of them, and among the things he said was that when asked if the IRS, what they did was against the law, he said that the law is irrelevant.
Yeah, it seems like just about everything they asked him about, such as where was the president during Benghazi.
Irrelevant, and that was an offensive question. We just played all those bites. And don't forget, whoever changed the talking points, that's irrelevant. Now, do you think that was by – I have two differing opinions. Your colleague, Congressman Price, told me earlier that, you know, that's by design. That's what the administration wanted out there, and I can't disagree. Lanny Davis, former White House counsel to Bill Clinton, chalked it up to inexperience on television and being young. I just don't see it. I mean, he had to be told to say those words, right?
Absolutely. No, this is an administration that is off the graph in politics. They know how to operate a political machine better than anybody else. I mean, just think, the president just won re-election with unemployment at the highest level I think that any modern president has been elected. That could only come from the expertise of politics. So no, whether you're talking about Susan Rice or Pfeiffer, whoever you're talking about, they don't send them out until they have well prepped them with a message, and his message was basically to forget, I forgot, it's irrelevant, it's offensive for you to ask such a question. So basically to say, let's move on and not really get down to the facts. The facts are not important. That's certainly consistent with what Hillary Clinton said when she says, well, what difference does it make? Or Carney, who said, well, that happened a long time ago when it comes to Benghazi. So it's obvious that the White House is 100% politics, but 0% in actually governance and in policy, and that's where the problem is.
Now, what's next for your bill, Congressman, as far as, and what kind of support does it have at this point?
Well, we've only launched it since all of this has come out, and we're just now coming back to session. I'll be talking with other members in the next several days, getting them lined up. We already have some co-signers. I think we have 4 or 5 already, and again, the ink is not even dry on the bill, so I think it's getting a lot of interest, and we expect hopefully a lot of Republicans to support it. Democrats, I'm not too sure about.
Congressman, we're talking to Congressman John Fleming here on the Steve Malzberg Show. We also have revelations and that have come to light. The president's brother got his charitable organization approved within a few weeks. It ran into all kinds of legal problems, of course, after that. It goes beyond the scope of Tea Parties. It goes to some Jewish groups supporting Israel and to other groups, and they found that there was not this influx of because of the court case, Citizens United, that all of a sudden thousands of requests had come. That didn't start until a year after all this had started. So let me ask you this. How is it possible that the woman who was in charge during this time of the 401c division and the tax-exempt division is now promoted and sitting, waiting and organizing to be in charge of the IRS branch that's going to run health care, Obamacare?
Well, that's the way this administration does it. When people foul up big time, they get promotions, and when they actually speak to the public and disclose what's going on, they get fired. And of course, like a good soldier, she went along with the program, and to get her out of the sights of the public and the media, they've now moved her on and promoted her, and of course rewarded her, and of course that will keep her quiet. And again, this is a person who targeted conservative groups, people who hated this health care bill the most, and now she will have the power as far as running that part of the IRS, Obamacare, to do really very damaging things even more than what's been going on now. Remember that we're going to have to reveal a lot about our personal lives to the IRS, all sources of income such as alimony and other things that perhaps wouldn't be disclosed otherwise when it comes to health care. And that is in order to qualify for certain parts of the exchanges. So, yeah, I think there's going to be a big backlash among the public for rewarding this lady for doing something, being in control of a department when it was doing most of its damage.
Of course, the media will have to make it known, or it's going to fall on the shoulders of the Republicans, certainly, to make that known. I have one more for you, and I don't mean to throw you a curve at all, but Newsmax did a story about the fact that the U.S. is in danger of letting foreign influence come into yet another wireless carrier. There's foreign ownership stakes in this country in Verizon and T-Mobile that got approval from the government in years past, and now there's a group called Softbank that's looking to take over Sprint. And do you feel it's important, and I should point out that Softbank has close ties to a Chinese firm that's been linked to cyber attacks in the U.S., so they could get a hold of Sprint, which is the nation's third largest telecommunications firm. Do you have any feelings on whether or not there should be tougher controls on who's running these wireless, giants?
Well, Stevie, there really needs to be vigilance on this point. I'm very concerned. We're getting reports from intelligence that every day, both in Iran and in China, there are cyber attacks going on. And a bill did pass out of the House, CISPA, which I opposed, that would allow government to put up certain protections, but in exchange for that, we would have to disclose or allow to be disclosed by Google and Yahoo and companies like that information about us, and I don't think that I'm quite ready to go there. So, yes, there's a lot more that needs to be done. We need to be careful about who controls our communications, and I'm going to be watching this. I don't have much information on it quite yet, though.
Okay, well, I appreciate your input into that, and stay strong, Congressman. Keep up the good work, and thank you for talking with us, sir.
Well, thanks, Steve, and again, I encourage your listeners to come. We're going to continue this dialogue on Facebook.com/Rep John Fleming and Twitter @Rep Fleming.
Great.
Thank you so much.
Great,
Steve.
thank you, sir. All right,
Yes,
that's
sir.
Congressman John Fleming, ladies and gentlemen, from the great state of Louisiana, 4th Congressional District. He's also a doctor.